Welcome back. I got another fucking banger for y'all today. Now, I always got bangers, but this is gonna be a little bit of a different one. And what makes this different is last week I recorded some modules in the course of really diving deep into the psychology of objections, how to listen for them before they happen, what beliefs are, where they come from, how to shift the belief in real time to not get the objection, or at the least be able to set yourself up for the objection when it comes. And so I was contemplating back and forth for a while of, do I just keep this in the course or do I put it on YouTube? But I'm a man of the people, so I decided that I'm gonna give you guys this one video here. And ultimately what it is again, breaking down where the money belief comes from, and then a live call example. You know, I try as much as I can to show you the shit in real time and not just talking about theory. So we got the theory behind it of shifting the belief, real neuroscience, where it comes from. This isn't shit that I'm making up. In addition to a live call of me doing it in real time with the gentleman on a biz op offer and being able to pre-handle the money belief in real time. Now, before we get into the video, before we get into the training, something key, guys, is you are not going to make it in this space by just consuming a bunch of free shit like this. And a lot of you think that that's the case. You think that you're the exception. So let's talk about a couple people, right? Let's talk about first my client, Alex. Alex made 10.5 grand a month as a setter. He made more than 6 closers on his team. We've been working together for 5 or 6 months, and Alex is extremely dedicated. He was making 2 grand a month as an IT specialist in Romania before we started working together. He's been super committed all these months to his craft, to getting as good as he can, to investing into himself, and he's crushing his team. And I'm not fucking surprised. He's an animal. Okay, let's talk about Chris. Chris was working as a missionary and a teacher, right? He was traveling the world, spreading the word of God. He was making like 4 or 5 grand a month, to being one of the top closers for now 3 months. He is on pace to make his first 20K a month. Chris is also very dedicated. The dude who was the top closer on that offer has never invested into himself. He was the top rep for 14 months, and Chris has consistently been beating him and really beating everybody on the team. And this is 2 of many. And the reason I bring these up, matter of fact, let's talk about Colton. Colton is the same thing. Colton was making 3 to 4 grand a month to consistently hitting 9. And he was and prior to this, he hadn't made a huge, or I don't even want to say huge, a decent sized investment into himself. And he was the top rep with the least amount of calls taken, right? This is not by mistake. This is gonna be a really detailed training and you're gonna learn a lot from this, but I wanna make it very fucking clear that this is not enough. You watching these kinds of videos and taking and trying to piece it together is the exact reason you are stuck below 10 grand a month. The exact reason you'll maybe make 7 to 8 on a good month. Maybe you've cracked a 10K a month or 2, but you haven't been able to do it consistently, or more than likely, you're at the 3 to 4K a month range. So if you're listening to this and you haven't made an investment into yourself, get out of your own way, pull the fucking trigger. So I'm gonna go to the gym, you're gonna watch this training, you're gonna go implement it, you're gonna close deals, you're gonna hit the link below, and you're gonna apply to see if you qualify for one-on-one training directly with me or my team. And you're gonna get out of your own way, and you're gonna stop making excuses as to why your situation is different, as to why you wanna wait until you get paid, or wait until you have the commission, or wait until you're closer, or whatever excuse you keep giving yourself. Get out of your own way, invest in yourself, take the training, implement it on calls. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, so now let's talk about some motherfucking money, right? So what's actually happening here? So someone's saying I didn't have the money. This is their relationship with money is what we're handling. And ultimately what that is them disguising it as powerlessness. I don't have the money means I don't have the power is ultimately what they're saying, right? So how does this one show up? They'll say things like, I didn't have the money, simple, right? I couldn't afford it, or I needed to be in a better financial position first. So what's actually happening here? They're protecting themselves for, again, it's their relationship with money, right? Remember what we said up here, using money as a stay safe to avoid risk, waiting for better conditions before acting, right? Lack of money becomes a stop signal as opposed to getting resourceful when money is tight, as opposed to investing to change future conditions, as opposed to using money to buy speed, leverage, and outcomes. So if we come down here, right, they're protecting short-term financial discomfort. They're not lacking options, right? Saying I don't have the money removes the responsibility and it places it on the problem on outside control. It allows them to stay safe without confronting the trade-offs, the risks, the commitment. So what's the flawed belief here? It's I have to wait until I have the money because it'll be safer to move forward. Why does this kill decisions? More money does not create better decisions. It simply delays them. And so them waiting to feel financially comfortable before taking action
It guarantees three things. It guarantees that they're going to continue to miss opportunity. It guarantees that they're going to continue to slow their growth and continue to be stagnant. And this is ultimately the loop that we're trying to break here. Discomfort, which leads to financial caution, which leads to justification, which leads to the identity of I'm being responsible. It's similar to the dude from earlier, right? The procrastination guy, right? He thinks that he's being responsible, right? And the cool thing about this, like I keep saying, is like it's like an identity is formed from a cluster of beliefs. So sometimes these people will have like a couple of these together, right? It'll be a procrastination and money combined, right? Or maybe it'll be like money and knowledge combined, or time and ego combined. So this is why it's important for you to understand what's actually going on. So how do we actually shift this? Very simple. And what you're going to see is I don't like to overcomplicate shit. It's very purposely a repeatable process for all of them. If you know what you're listening for, you'll be able to take this and apply it to all of them. So first step, identify, right? What steps would you say you've taken towards solving XYZ logical problem so that you can overcome the emotional problem? Oh, I've been watching YouTube. I've been reading. I've been doing all this shit. Okay. What's prevented you from actually taking action? And then that's where we're going to find that belief, right? After we gather more context, if I didn't have the money, right? Or I was waiting to save up, or, something along these lines. I couldn't afford it, right? They're exposing their relationship with money when they say this. Pattern interrupt. Can I offer a perspective? Yes. So money is an interesting topic because money is ultimately the reason you need to do something, so that you have more money to overcome X problem, Y problem, and Z problem. I say this a million times, guys. Context is so important because you can actually use their real problems here. Money is, so that you can be able to spend more time with the family, so that you can be able to, leave your job, like whatever outcomes, whatever problems that they're trying to solve. It's the reason you need to do something, but it also sounds like the reason you haven't. It's a contradiction. They'll be like, okay. It's kind of like an overweight person saying, I'll start going to the gym when I lose weight. Do you see how the reason you need to do something has simultaneously been the reason you haven't? Yes. Okay. How so? Well, because I've allowed money to be the reason that I haven't gotten the help I need. Now they see the contradiction. And this remains true for everyone, right? There's a good chance that they're going to try to push back on you here. It may not be as easy as them just accepting it. Remember, we're shifting beliefs that form their identity, the identity that keeps them safe. They will try to defend the belief. But now that you have the fundamental understanding of why this belief is not serving them, you'll be able to stay in that ring with them, right? Then, after you ask them, how the reason you need to do something has been the reason that you haven't, okay, how so, right? And they're going to tell you, like I said up there. And like, what has that way of thinking costed you so far? X, Y, and Z. How much longer do you want it to continue costing you that? Pay attention to my tone. I'm downward inflecting. It's a fucking serious conversation. How much longer do you want it to continue costing you that? Right, I don't know why I have this shit twice. Oh, not much longer. Okay. Well, are you ready to overcome that way of thinking? Yes. Now, the same as the others, right? When we're shifting a belief that's been in the driver's seat, they may try to use loose language to protect the identity, to protect the belief. They may say things like, I think, or I hope. You don't want to let that slide. Right? The same as procrastination. This means they're still holding on to that identity and we haven't fully shifted it. So if they use loose language, you're going to say this. Okay, and I probably say, you're ultimately trying to get them to use certain language. So you don't have to use these exact words, right? Don't be a fucking script dummy. It may sound like I'm being nitpicky here, but when we think about solving XYZ problem and we think about what's required to getting there, and then you say, I think I'm ready, or I hope I'm ready, do you think that kind of language serves those outcomes well? No. Okay, what do you think we can say instead? I am ready. Right? They're going to say something along these lines. You need commitment. You need committal language. Okay? Then after that, why now? Right? After 4 years, 5 years, 3 years, 6 months, what is actually different now that you're ready to let go of that way of thinking, right? Hold the space. And if that way, and then number 10, if that way of thinking were to show itself, would we as your coaches have your permission to keeping you accountable and empowering you to overcome that? This is what we call a 10-piece combo. Okay, we're gonna come in there, we're gonna set them up with the jab, and then we're gonna hit them with the cross, and then we're gonna hit them with 2 bodies, right? We're gonna finish with the hook. Still not even 10 punches, whatever. Are you sure? I'm not always this nice. This is a lighthearted way of telling them you're gonna whoop that ass if they have any objections at the end, because now you've successfully separated them from the belief that's not serving them well, right? And then from there, like you have more leverage in objection handling, right? So, and then you could pick the energy back up because now we're going to go into the future pace, right? We're going to go into the heaven island. Okay, what is it about this that has you that that makes you feel like this could potentially serve it, solve the problem for you? Okay, and like what does success actually look like, right? Now we can pick up the energy. We could pick up the tone. Let's look at an example of this. So, step number 1, you should know by now, is to ask them what steps they've taken to identify, right? Okay, and so 3 months, you realize something needs to change. I need to have a business, right? And so in that 3 months, what steps would you say you've taken towards now building a business that doesn't just rely on the markets, that has more stability?
Researching, how do you, I was researching Airbnb, I was researching remote jobs, because there's lots of remote jobs now.
Okay.
And I'm also a musician, so
So when you hear this, you may think, oh, this is the procrastination, but that's why the next question is so important of what's prevented him. So now we know what belief we're going to actually attack here, right?
like keys and DJing, so I'm researching my talent.
Okay.
My whole family is kind of I finished with music academy in Germany, so I was trying to use my talent to make money too, but this is a small town. You can't do much, in this town. I mean, this is not really a big city that you can go and DJ in big clubs. The clubs are shutting down because it's economy, and these people are more. I'm more like a deep techno guy, and most of the people here listen to top 40 shit. You know what I'm saying? No offense, but
Yeah. No, no, no. That's fair. That's fair. I don't think I would have a lot of that, right? So that makes sense. And so in that 3 months, you said you've done research. Obviously you're a pretty sharp dude. Like, what do you think has prevented you from going from research into like actually executing and building? He's a sharp dude. We're identity framing him here. Sneaky, right? Now, this is what's going to tell us, is it because he's going to say one of two things. Oh, I wanted to make sure I have all the knowledge before doing something. Okay, now we know that the belief we're dealing with is procrastination. But what does he say?
The startup costs, to be honest with you.
Boom. Now we know money. Now we know the path to take, right? So number 2 is to gather context, which we just did. Now number 3 is to pattern interrupt, right? Well, I'm gathering more context first. Like, what is
like for example, one of the programs I was looking at, you need at least 10K to set up it, and I don't want to start something. Like I said, I don't have a steady income. And
Mr. Prospect, I'm about to ask you for like 8K. Let's keep going.
10K right now is lots of money for me, and I have invested. I already have let me see. Hold on a second. I have already 47 grand into one thing. I like the diversity. You know what I'm saying? I don't like having one place where all my money is. That's why kind of spread around. But I want to also have like something that I'm like this kind of seems really good because I was reading about it, and I want to have something like you just established. Like I want to do something that is my primary job. I want to put this as a side job.
Right, right. And so it sounds like you said money has been the reason, like setup costs is what's prevented you from starting. I'm laser focused. I don't care about any of the other shit he said, right? Now I know the belief that I'm about to handle here. So that's the only thing that matters.
Right.
Yeah. So money is boom. Where are we now? Plant the idea, right? Interesting, man. Can I offer like a perspective? Is that okay? Obviously, you gotta pattern interrupt before planning the idea. But after he gives me permission, after I pattern interrupt there, right? Now watch where we take it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Go ahead.
So money is an interesting topic, right? Because money, at the end of the day, money is the reason you need support and the reason that you need to do something.
Right.
That you can have more money to move to St. Pete's, right?
to not have to get a job and spend more time with your daughter,
Context, context, context.
to ultimately live, to travel, to do the things that you said, to have stability. Money is the reason you need to do something, but it sounds like it's also the reason you haven't,
Right.
right? It's almost like an over.
Right? Now, what are we doing? Right? So we've pattern interrupted, we're continuing to plant the idea. So the first part is the analogy. Is the, pointing out the contradictions, the reason you need to, so you could do X, Y, Z, but it sounds like it's the reason you don't. Now we use the analogy. Fear can't be overcome by logic, has to be overcome by emotion. This is how you do it. Analogies, stories, identity anchors.
Overweight person, a 300, 400-pound person saying, I know I need to lose weight. I know I need to go to the gym to lose weight, but I'm gonna start. Let me lose the weight first, and then I'm gonna go to the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how the reason that you've needed to do something has
Yeah.
and the reason you haven't?
Point out the contradiction.
Did you finish up psychology or something? What's your degree in?
Similar, man. Similar. My degree's in helping people,
My degree's in helping people, dog.
right?
Yeah.
Because if I can say something direct here without offending you,
Yeah. That's cool. Go for it.
that's what's gonna keep you stuck.
Ooh.
That's what's gonna keep you in this place.
Yeah.
Because do you see how your relationship with money, again, the reason you need to has ultimately been the reason you haven't? Like, do you see how that's been a self-sabotaging loop?
Right? Now where are we? Plant the idea, ask them to justify it, right? We're at step 5.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, do you see how that way of thinking is what's potentially kept us in this place?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess the right question is, and it's not overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, right?
Motherfucker, I didn't ask him to justify it. Let's keep going though.
But that way of thinking of hesitancy to put money forward when we know we need money, do you think that's worth keeping, or should we maybe start to let go of that way of thinking?
I think we should let it go. I should let it go.
Yeah, because if we really look at it, man, like what has that costed you so far?
Right? So for some reason, I did not ask him to justify how it's costed him that. But we're moving on. We're at step 6. Ask him what it's costed him.
That perspective.
$500,000. Forex.
Yeah.
I lost $500,000 and yeah. I went for on the Brits and United Europe, Europe United, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
EU separated. I lost $497,000.
This is insane. I was not even expecting an answer like that from him. That one question of what has it costed him, I find out it's costed him half an M. Let's keep going.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about.
And it all goes back to your relationship with money, though. Because
Yes.
I could show you all this cool, sexy AI shit and the technical stuff. Like, I could show you all that. But this, like I said, is what's going to keep you stuck, right?
Mhm.
And so I guess I know I'm being direct here, but it's because I want to help. Like, how
Help frame. Help frame. We're on the same team. It's not me versus you. I want to help. You have to see these things in, especially when you're challenging.
much longer do we want to continue allowing this fear of letting go of money or this hesitancy be the reason that we continue to not have stability? Like, how much longer do you want that to go on?
I can survive if I keep it so long, you know what I mean? Because it's a safety net for running, every day is running lower and lower because you got your life and, stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, are you willing, again, I'm not saying it'll happen the next day or tomorrow, but are you willing to take the steps to actually let go of that way of thinking so that you can build something that gives you the stability and control?
Step 8. Are you ready to overcome that way of thinking?
I have to.
I have to. I have to.
And I want you to be honest with you. I don't want to be stuck, like you said, in this loophole that I'm always scared to lose money and stuff like that.
Yeah, and why now to let go of that?
Boom. Why now? Right? Number 9.
Right.
Like, why? Like, why now to let go of that?
Why now? Because I need to reset my way of thinking.
Okay.
That's why I kind of need to talk to a person. Everything that I do now, it's emails, text messages. I never talked to anybody in the last 6 months about anything like regarding this adventure. So when I talk to you guys or you or somebody like that, that can be kind of like, hey, this is it. This is real shit.
And talking is a good first step, man. Talking is a good
Yeah.
first step. But if we don't have this conversation, then that fear, it's going to show itself and continue to keep you stuck in this loop and this fear of losing money. You see what I'm saying? So he talked about psychology, right? Like our brains are funny, and part of you knows this isn't serving him, and he knows he needs to let go of it, but there's a level of comfort attached to. Now we're stepping into step 10, right? Do we have your permission to keep you accountable? Do we have your permission to objection handle that, even though it's not serving you? Right. So if that way of thinking were to show itself, or if the fear were to show itself, would we as your coaches have your permission to keeping you accountable and empowering you to overcome that?
Yeah.
Are you sure, man? I'm not always this nice. Are you sure?
I'm not always this nice. I'm not always this nice.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. Because, I was in a comfort zone making that kind of money when I was working, but money was coming in.
Right.
Now money just goes out. And like I said, I'm not okay with this, because like I need to do something to change that. I don't want to be in my life's. I need to get out of my comfort zone. There you go. That's what I want to say.
That's right. I respect that. Right. Because there's
This is a little bonus, right? This is a little bonus identity frame here.
there's some people, I don't want to say hard-headed, but we just can't help, right? Who know that they're in their comfort zone, who know it's not serving them, but then when it's time to do something, well, they want to stay in that comfort zone and then wonder why they never grow, wonder why they stay stuck.
Right.
So I'm glad that's not the conversation that you and I are having.
And boom, just like that, you've been able to separate the man from the belief that is not serving him, which ultimately forms the identity that's not serving him, which ultimately forms the decision-making process that is not serving him, that's been in the driver's seat. Were he to give me a financial objection, we have so much leverage to be able to help him out of his own way.